Hey, you. Let's get that first podcast out there. And if you haven't heard, Anchor is the easiest way to make that happen. Let me explain. It's free. That's right, it's absolutely free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your PC or the convenience of doing it right from your phone. That's right, you heard me, right from your phone. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can also make money from your podcast. That's right, I said it. You can make money through Anchor with your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's right, guys. Anchor's away. Good afternoon, my gifted ones. I'm your host, Melissa Henry Stover, just coming in to remind you today that you are gifted by design and you are designed to be gifted. As I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you about today, I came up with I want you all to know your worth. A lot of times that's where we all fall short. When I look back over the changes that have started with me, it was when I really started knowing my worth. And I didn't realize that a lot of the things, that was going on with me was because I didn't know my worth. We spend so much time putting everyone else first. And when you do that, you devalue yourself. And sometimes in life, that's what we got to do. As a parent, as a child, whatever. We put everybody before we ourselves. And that's okay. But sometimes you have to realize that you got to check your values sometimes, because what you're valuing yourself at, that's what everybody else is valuing you at as well. Really. Yeah. You didn't realize that? Like sometimes you can put your own self on the clearance rack with people and not even realize it, because you'll say, no, that's okay. I'm all right. It's okay that you did that without me, or it's okay that you're going without me. It's okay. And we continuously, do that. So sometimes that person looks like, well, I won't even worry about doing them right because I already know they're okay. Even if I do them wrong, they're going to be okay with it. And it sets the tone for your life, whether it's your job, whether it's your friendships, whether it's relationships. You have to know your value, because if you don't value yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. And what I realized was when I really, really started looking into what I was valuing myself at, I was undervalued. I had put myself on the clearance rack and I had slashed that by 50%. So what happens when you go, hey, wait a minute, I know that I'm supposed to be on display. I'm worth more than that. When you start telling people what your worth is, then they're laughing at you because you've always been on the clearance rack. You've always put yourself last. Like, you got to be kidding me that now you want me to put energy into you or respect you, when before I didn't have to do any of those things. So do understand that once you do know your worth, gifted ones, you will lose people because they're saying, hey, I got you at bargain basement prices for the last 20 years. Why would I pay more for that now? And they're not going to be willing to pay that price. Even though you are paying the price for them, they will not do it for you. So in this season of knowing your worth, just know that you will lose people who don't value you. And I'm not going to say that that's going to be easy. Not at all, gifted ones. It's not going to be easy. It is going to be hard to realize people will not do the same for you that you were doing for them. Because we tend to think that everybody is just like us. And that's not the case. When you start requiring more of people, either they're going to step up to the plate or either they're going to walk completely off the field. And it's a hard feeling, but we have to be okay with it. And I'm not going to say that it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to say that you're not going to cry. I'm not going to say that you're not going to be hurt by people that you thought would always have your back. But I will tell you that it will be worth it, because the minute that you start removing these people out of your life who don't value you, it allows room for God to put people in your life who will. And that is the most rewarding feeling. It's not that you're asking too much. You're asking the wrong people. Things were okay as long as you were at a discounted rate. But now that it's time for them to step up and treat you with the respect that you deserve, they're saying, I'm not doing that. That's too much work. Why should I respect you? Why should I do anything for you? And at that point, it's up to you to make the decision. You can treat me how you want to treat me, but it's up to you whether or not I continue to accept the treatment. And you have to own that. Yes, I allowed you to treat me that way. I allowed myself to be discounted, but now I know better, and I refuse to accept that anymore. I don't have to accept it. And so at that point, it's okay to say, I used to be that person, but I'm no longer that person. It's okay to say, I'm not getting what I need out of this, and therefore I have to remove myself out of it. Whether it's a family member, a coworker, or whoever, it's okay for you to set healthy boundaries and not feel guilty about it, because people will make you feel guilty about not allowing them to treat you less than what you know that you're supposed to be treated. And if someone makes you feel guilty about that, then they don't need to be in your life. And I struggled with that a lot. And then I'd miss them, and then I'd say, okay, I'm going to give them another chance. And then it's just a setup for the moment that you demand that same level of respect, they'll show you that nothing has changed. They still see you as that person that they feel like they can discount or devalue or not respect. I've seen it in coworkers, I've seen it in family, and I've also seen it in relationships. So I want you to know today that this process starts with you sitting down and really taking a look at things and finding out what your value is, what you're worth. You have to really start there. Because if you're giving out more than you're getting back, you're always going to be in the negative. You have to have people in your life that are going to pour into you. Because if you keep pouring out to everybody, eventually there's not going to be anything left to pour. And I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that I was pouring, and no one was pouring back into me. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, and those things can ruin you. And you have to at some point say, I can't. I don't have anything left to give. And if you don't have anything left to give me, then we can't continue this, because I have nothing left to give you. And if that person readily walks away, hey, nothing left here, let them go. And sometimes you have to be the one to make that decision, because a lot of people will never go, because they're like, hey, I got a good thing here. I can take, and I never have to give anything back. So at some point in life, you have to do the calculations. You have to assess the situation. And you have to figure out what your worth is, and if you've been selling yourself cheap. And you have to take accountability for that. And once I realized that, hey, I'm allowing people to treat me less than what I deserve to be treated, once I started standing up, once I started setting boundaries, everything changed. I lost a lot of people along the way. I've gained some good people along the way, but I now know what I will not put up with, and that I don't have to. And you don't have to hate anyone. You don't have to berate anyone. You can love them from a distance. You can go in peace. You can set the tone on how you interact with this person. And when it gets to that point, you know, hey, now I know this is the point that would become sticky. So you have some options there, and you have to figure out how to deal with these people accordingly. But one day you'll wake up and you'll feel like, wow, I feel great. I feel positive. I have more energy. I have more time to focus on my goals. I have more time to do what I need to do because I'm not taking all of my time and putting it into someone who would never return that time to me. And a lot of times we miss out on the things that we're supposed to be doing because we're devaluing ourselves and not saying, hey, no, I can't do that because I have something to do. Or no, I'm busy right now, so I can't. And if you really want to step out in your purpose, you're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to know your worth. You're going to have to know that, hey, I may lose this person, but as I'm going toward my purpose, God will put everybody in my path that I need. So I need you guys to stop devaluing yourself. I need you guys to know your worth. I need you to know that there's a purpose in your pain. I need you to know that you are gifted. And on this path to finding your gift, the road is not always going to be easy, but it will be worth it. So know that I love you guys. Know that I thank you for supporting the channel. I will see you next episode. But just remember that you are gifted by design and you are designed to be gifted. So get out there and find your gift.